Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and today we're going to look at some not so common as well as some common loose graded vintage Star Wars figures. Buy it nows as well as auctions. There were 4 different Japanese Poppies that sold across a couple of different grades, and interestingly enough, it was the same 2 characters. 2 of them in an 85 and 2 of them in 75. So you guys can take a look at the comparison on the prices. As always, thanks to my Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/actionfiguregrader is where you can go to sign up. All right, let's take a look. We're going to start off with some of the common ones, but still admittedly in very high grade. We had a large head Han Solo Hong Kong COO archival case, AFA 85, and that one sold for $200 and change, $200.50 plus $10 shipping. This seller had a bunch of fairly common items, but they were very nice high grades, so wanted to go ahead and cover those. And this seller's had a bunch of different China COO Stormtroopers AFA 85s, and the prices have ranged for the Hong Kong and Chinas that this seller has had consistently anywhere from 180 to about 225. So this is the harder to find China COO, 220.50 on that one. This was the light blue emblem Death Squad Commander in an AFA 85. That one sold for almost $200. So there's the light blue emblem there. I don't know if there are any, I think I've talked about this in the past, but I don't know if the light blue versus the dark blue is any more common or less common, but to me it feels like the light blue emblem is a little tougher to find than the dark blue, but whatever. There you go. It's one little blue patch on his chest. Here was a Hong Kong curved brown eyes Imperial Commander graded AFA 85. That one sold for $92.56, so a little under $100. That's a pretty decent deal there for a nice high-grade example. He also had a Hong Kong AFA 85 Hoth Stormtrooper that sold for $162.50. You could maybe make an argument that the torso piece is a slightly different color than the legs, but just keep in mind that it is a different type of plastic that's used. To me, it feels like an 85. I've got an 85 grade that's very similar, kind of with that slight difference in color. So $162.50, pretty fair deal there. Another common one, Boba Fett, Hong Kong, AFA 85, $224.72 was the final sales price in an auction, and it seems like a standard Hong Kong Boba Fett is hovering pretty consistently around $225 for those of you looking for one. Blonde-haired Hong Kong Bespin Luke. Again, another fairly common one. This one sold for $197.50, which I thought was a pretty fair deal. For the Hong Kong Luke Bespin. And, one thing to keep in mind is that the lightsaber on his utility belt can come either kind of painted to where it is attached to the belt, or in this case, it's kind of floating. It's a couple of different factory variations for that, but that one is kind of the floating variation where the lightsaber is not really attached to the rest of the black utility belt. So $197 again on that one. He also had some beautiful last 17 that I had to cover, and they were all encased with the coin. So this was an AFA 90 Han Solo in carbonite with an AFA 85 coin. So it's each piece is encased in acrylic carbonite, and then the whole thing is again wrapped. So, some people don't like that, but it does make for, in my opinion, a pretty nice presentation. $530 on that one. And then the Lando Calrissian was graded AFA 85 plus, and the coin was U85. So very, very nice combination there. That one sold for $306, which I thought was a very good deal for an 85 plus Lando. That's a pretty low price if you ask me. And then the Luke Stormtrooper sold for $853. This one was an 85 with an 85 coin. So that's another really high grade combination for a tough to get Luke Stormtrooper in an 85 grade, and it looks like an 85 to me. I mean, very, very clean figure. And again, 853, that's come down. We talked about that one early this year, towards the beginning of the year. Luke Stormtroopers in an 85 grade from AFA had gotten insane. I mean, they were over $1,200, $1,300 for loose graded, which I felt like that price seemed really high, but they were consistently, and they were going from like $650 to $800 to $900 to $1,250. Now they're kind of coming back down to earth a little bit, as they probably should. So $853 on that one. Here was an AFA 90 orange eye FX7 medical droid. That one sold for $246. And again, anything in a 90 grade, and you can get it for like $250, that's not a bad deal. I mean, to me, I didn't look up what the population report is, but it can't be many. It can't be many for the FX7. And $246 seems like a fair deal there. 85 grade white-haired Ben Kenobi Hong Kong COO. That one sold for $243. Right in line with where 85s typically sell, depending on the hair color and things like that. But for standard Hong Kong Ben Kenobis, that's always the target that I'd aim for right now. Back during the Obi-Wan Kenobi show on Disney Plus, I mean, these were going for like 400 plus, and it was just crazy how much they jumped. But Ben Kenobi has definitely come back down to earth. Try to only stay around 250 or below, ideally 225, but I could see paying up a little bit. This was the white-haired version. And then we had the red-haired Leia Hoth, $178.50 on that one, which I thought was a pretty decent deal, given that it's the harder to find red-haired variant for Leia Hoth. So good deal there. Now I've got some baggies and then the Japanese poppies before we wrap things up. This one was a CAS 85 TIE Fighter pallet baggie. That one sold only on one bid for $150. Pretty good deal there, if you ask me, for a tough-to-find baggie. So $150 on that one. And then this seller had an AFA 80 baggie for the R2-D2 sensor scope. You can see a little bit of yellowing to the sticker on R2. So that's what held it back to an 80 grade. $170 on that one. So pretty good deal there. And then Gold Star Tech, who we've talked about lately, he had a beautiful Sears, I think this was a Sears exclusive, if memory serves. Sears 2-pack mailer with Walrus Man and Hammerhead, AFA 85. Tough to find this one. And that one sold for $933. I was actually expecting it to go for $1,200 or more. So pretty good deal in an auction there for a Sears exclusive 2-pack. And then we've got a couple of different poppies that sold. First is an AFA 85 Hoth Rebel Soldier, and this one was splayed out with all the contents inside, and we're going to show another one that CIB had that just sold in an auction that was an AFA 75. So this 85 grade sold for $611. $611, I thought that was a pretty good deal. I actually bid on that half-heartedly, and I finished in third or fourth place, so not terrible there. This one I thought was a particularly good deal. This is the Hoth Stormtrooper AFA 85. One of these sold on Hakes either earlier this year or potentially last year. I think it was last year. And it was an AFA 85, and it sold for close to $1,500 after the buyer's premium. This is the same grade, and it sold for $915. So a big drop in price there. And that was a really good deal, I feel like. So you compare those 85s to these. This was a 75 plus for the exact same figure. Hoth Rebel Soldier. That one sold for $387. And then the AFA 75 that CIB had for the Hoth Stormtrooper sold for $737. So $737 for the AFA 75 versus $915 for the AFA 85. Someone got a really good deal, I feel like, on that 85 grade. And then finally, we had a 3-figure set, AFA 85 for the Max Rebo Sny Snoodles band with the silver microphones. This one sold over in the UK for about 300 pounds, which is $390 US. That is another price that is significantly below where I expected that one to sell. Kind of a weird setup, if you ask me. It doesn't really present that great. I prefer CAS's and UKG's setup where it shows the band kind of having all the instruments in their hands and things like that. I think that's a better setup than the way AFA does it. But it was a high grade example, and there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this look at recent sales. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.